All right, so we are going to start off correcting our review. We are starting math up a couple minutes early, so I'm going to hang out on this page for just a minute. But if you guys have questions, please, please, please make sure you're asking me. I think I'm going to move the test to Friday. I was going to do it Thursday. I'm going to move that test to Friday. But you are having a test on this type of material this week, so it's super important that you understand it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this page corrected. Again, you can just share out your question if you have one, or you can raise your hand, or you can put it in the chat. Any of those methods will work.
Miss Triplett,
Yes.
can you read number 1?
Number 1, so it said, use the associative property to add. Explain how the associative property, well, I guess I didn't do my explaining. Explain how the associative property helps you add mentally. So when I used the associative property on this one, I added 1 7/10 and 5 3/10 together first. And I added those together first because I could tell that my 7/10 and my 3/10 was going to equal the whole. So that's why I wanted to add those together first. So when I did that, I got 7. And then in my head, I can easily add 2 57/100 and 7. And that equals 9 57/100.
Okay.
Okay. And then same thing, associative property on this next one, I changed my grouping, right? Because I knew that 25/100 plus 75/100 equals a whole. And so if you can get to that one whole to get rid of those decimals, it makes it so much easier to do the rest of your adding. Okay, so I added those two together first, 3 25/100 and 7 75/100 to get 11. And then that I can add in my head to 4 89/100. Okay. Number 3, wanted the number in which the digit 8 is 10 times the value of the digit 8 in 4 381 thousandths. Well, in 381 thousandths, it's in the hundredths. So if I want to get 10 times larger than the hundredths place, 10 times larger than the hundredths place, it's going to be the tenths place. I'm going to move 1 spot over to the left to get 10 times larger. Okay. So anywhere, any of these numbers that have that 8 in the 10th place, that's what I wanted to mark on that one. And then number 4 was going the opposite direction. It wanted, and your answer could be different than mine. Yours might not be all in the exact same order. But it wanted you to use these tiles to write a decimal in which the 2 is 1/10 the value of the digit 2 in this one. So 1/10 means it needs to be in a smaller spot. So here it's in the hundredths place. If it's 1/10 the value of 100, that's going to make it 1,000th. So as long as your 2 is in the thousandths place, it doesn't matter what order the rest of your digits are. Okay. Any questions on any of the other problems on this page?
No.
All right, let's move on to page 60. Good old place value powers of 10 in there. In word problems, or not word problems, but putting it in words. Number 6, did I write? Oh, wait, going back. Number 6, 17,000, so 17,000, and is my decimal, 106 thousandths. That THS lets you know that it is to the right of that decimal point. And is the decimal point. And then the thousands just confirms that the rest of it is to the right of the decimal point. Okay. Thank you for that question in the chat. Again, you can just ask your question out loud or you can put it in the chat. Totally up to you. See if I can weight this down so it doesn't slide. I had to go through my comparing a couple times because I was thinking, is there really none of them that are less than? But I think I got them all correct. I think that there's just the one equal and the rest are all greater. Any questions on 7 through 15? All right, let's go to page 61. I'm not sure why the box is down here for 21 and 22. I mean, I guess I could have spread it out and done some of the solving in the box. Also, I did 2 different forms of estimating, so you can look at those too, and as long as one of them matches yours, you're good. Number 18 can be kind of a tough one, saying which spot the number was rounded to, and here's our original number. The way I like to look at it is, okay, my first one, 143 and 65 hundredths. So if I underline that hundredths place, I know that that's being rounded to the hundredths because anything after it's going to be erased. If it rounded to 100, well, my 1 is the last number I have before I have those zeros. So I knew that it had to be the hundreds place. Okay, 144. That 4 ends it right there in the ones place. So I knew that that one had to be rounded to the ones place, and so on. Any other questions on these? All right, you guys are rock stars. Let's take a look at our planners real quick. So for our planners today for math, you're going to do your student activity book again. That's this same book we just corrected in. And book doesn't have a P, book has a K. Student activity book. We are doing pages 62 to 64, okay, 62 to 64. And then this is everybody, this includes Mr. Baker's kiddos. I would like to see 15 minutes of iReady Math. 15 minutes of iReady Math. I'm going to stay on. I would love for you guys to stay on and work. I am going to require EJ and Amaya to stay on because I need to talk to you two. But everybody else, these are your 2 things that you are working on for this next amount of time. I will have Zoom open, so if you have questions, you're more than well, like if you decide to leave, but there's a problem you get stuck on, join the Zoom call again and I'll let you in again, okay? Again, we should not be leaving yet because I have not dismissed anyone.